talked my mother-in-law into trying a sensory overload simulator, and her reaction was not what I expected. For 4 years, Denise had insisted my son wasn't autistic, he was spoiled, that I'd made him this way by giving in. Theo is 7. He was diagnosed at 3 by a developmental pediatrician who sat both of us down and explained it in detail, with diagrams. Denise nodded through the whole appointment and then, the following Thanksgiving, told my sister-in-law that I'd gotten him a label so I wouldn't have to discipline him. Every family dinner was the same. Theo would start covering his ears and she'd say he was being manipulative. When he melted down in a restaurant, she'd say, loud enough for 2 tables, that in her day you'd have gotten a smack and learned. When I cut the tags out of his shirts, she made a face like I'd committed a crime against the child. So when the community college hosted a disability resource fair, and I saw that one of the booths had a sensory overload simulator, I asked her to come. I told her it would be fun. I am not proud of the part of me that wanted this. Theo was home with my husband. I'd been up since 4:30 because Theo had been up since 4:30, and I was running on coffee and something meaner than caffeine. In the car, Denise laughed and said, I'll do it, but it's a headset. How bad can a headset be? 4 years of that voice. I just smiled and parked. At the booth, I signed us both up and talked to the occupational therapist running it, a woman named Marisol. I said, my son is autistic, level 2. He's got auditory hypersensitivity and he can't filter background noise at all. Marisol nodded and wrote it down. I wanted a witness. I wanted somebody with letters after her name standing next to me when it happened. Denise sat down in the chair. Marisol explained it. Noise-canceling headset, VR goggles, haptic vest. It reproduces what an overloaded sensory system does with an ordinary environment. A grocery store, a classroom. Dial from 1 to 10. She said twice, you can stop at any time. Just raise your hand. Denise said, I don't think I'll need to. Marisol started at 3. A grocery aisle. Denise chuckled and said, this is just Kroger. Marisol went to 5. The chuckling stopped. Denise's head turned slightly, the way you turn when something's behind you. 7. Fluorescent buzz layered under a PA system layered under a baby crying 2 aisles over. And the goggles started doing the thing where the lights pulse at the edges. Denise's hands went flat on her knees. She stopped narrating. 8. Marisol paused there and said calmly, to nobody in particular, this is roughly the baseline load many autistic kids carry in a school cafeteria. Every day, for 30 minutes. Then they go back to class. Denise looked toward my voice. I watched her swallow. Marisol asked if she wanted to continue. Denise said yes. At 9, she flinched hard enough that the chair moved. Her jaw set. She said, okay, which is a thing Denise has never said in her life. At 10, she got her hand up about 4 seconds in, and she was crying before Marisol got the headset off her. Not delicately. That awful surprised crying where your face doesn't have time to arrange itself. She was shaking. Her hair was stuck to her forehead. Marisol handed her a water and let her sit. Then she said, not unkindly, but clearly, and people were listening. That was 4 minutes, and you knew it would end, and you knew where you were, and you had words to tell me to stop. Denise nodded. She couldn't talk yet. Marisol said, he doesn't have any of that. I helped her to a bench outside the gym. She held onto my arm the whole way like the floor might tilt. She kept starting sentences and abandoning them. Finally, she said, I told him to stop being dramatic. At Easter, in the kitchen. She looked at me. He was covering his ears, and I told him to knock it off. I said, I know, I was there. She said, I'm so sorry, and then said it again about 6 more times, and I let her. Here's the part I didn't expect. She didn't just apologize. 2 days later, a package came. The exact over-ear headphones his OT had recommended. The ones I'd been putting off buying because they're $200. Then she asked me to send her his diagnostic report. She read all 40 pages. She called with questions. At Christmas, she set up the back bedroom with the lamp off and the door closed and told everyone it was Theo's room and nobody goes in it. When he needed it, he went, and she stood in the hallway and told her own sister to lower her voice. He came out after 20 minutes and sat next to her on the couch. She didn't say anything to him. She just cut the tag out of his new shirt with the kitchen scissors, handed it back, and went on eating her pie.